The gameplay in the background that you're watching is of my Masters slash Grandmaster teammates. My tank was actually a top 500 player, and you'll see them later in the video, don't worry. This video is about the state of matchmaking currently and how it's so unbearably bad that I don't know how much more I can take. First of all, quick play is pretty horrible as well. It's so bad to the point where I don't want to play it. If it's a Widow map, they play Widow. It's just not even quick play at that point. It's just ranked with a slightly shorter queue time. It's terrible. Anyway, my main issue with the current rank system is the fact that there are two extremes. I either queue in Masters, where the queue times aren't horrible. They're only about 10 minutes a game. And I queue up, well actually that depends on the role. If it's tank, it's quite literally instantaneous. However, if I queue on any other role, it's around 5 to 10 minutes. On support, it's upwards of 15. So anyway, I've been queuing tank recently. However, in this game, I played Genji. Anyway, when I queue in these games, I'm sitting in queue for maybe about 5 to 10 minutes, like I said. But if I were to, say, play on my main account, it's a little higher elo and top 500, I'm waiting upwards of 20, 25, 30, 35, on some occasions, 40 minutes a game if I'm not playing tank. If I'm playing tank, those queue times go down to about 1 or 2 minutes, which is ludicrous, but it is what it is. So, I have realized that I have two solutions. I can either play tank in top 500 and have a miserable experience, or I can play DPS and have a miserable experience in top 500, or I can play support and genuinely have a good time. But I'll be waiting an hour in queue just to play one game that's probably going to be 5 to 10, 15 minutes long anyway, so it's pointless. So then my decision is I'm going to smurf in Masters until the matchmaking times are fixed. I don't want to sit this long in queue, therefore I'm going to smurf in Masters. I think that's pretty reasonable. I would have smurfed regardless of queue time, but right now it is literally a necessity that I smurf in Masters for me to be able to play the game. Anyway, so I smurf in Masters. And I'm not smurfing in Masters and I'm thinking, you know what, if my Masters teammates don't play like their top 500, I'm going to be really disappointed in them. That's not what it is at all. I'm queuing into Masters, I'm expecting Masters players on the enemy team, I'm expecting Masters players on my team, and I think that's reasonable. However, in the current gameplay that you've been watching, tell me that this player is bordering on Grandmaster. This guy was about Masters 1 if I believe correctly. This player in my game is a GM player slash High Masters player. And this is what I mean when I complain about the rank system. This guy is so hyper-inflated, so unbelievably boosted, that this is what I get in my games. I either have to sit an hour in queue for a decent quality match, and even then, I have the potential of queuing into Circuit Royale, Colosseo, Esperanza, New Queen Street, all of these horrible maps. There's a chance I queue into after waiting an hour. Or I get this. How is there no in between? How is there nothing between either side of the extreme? I'm either waiting an hour in queue, or I get this on my team, where this player unironically maintains a 50% win rate in solo queue in this rank, because this rank is this low quality. How is a Masters slash GM game this bad? I don't believe it. I'm legitimately flabbergasted at the fact that you can queue into the top 3% of the player base, and that's Masters. GM is about 1%. Now, the numbers haven't been, updated since last time, but we can assume they are similar, right? That would mean he's in the top 4% if he's in Masters, because it's 1% GM, 3% Masters, making him 4% at the bottom of Masters. This guy's at the top of Masters, bottom of Grandmaster. We'll say he's in the top 1.5 to 2% of the game. You're telling me this player is good enough to beat about 98% of the player base? It's not true. It's just not true. There is a serious problem with the ranked system. I cannot queue up into a Masters slash Grandmasters game of Overwatch and have this as my teammate. That is bullshit. This guy is so boosted, it is unbelievable. And by the way, this guy is a solo queue player. At least he was in my game. And I think we lost this game, actually, because my teammates were saying I was the problem when we had this on our team. And by the way, we had a tank player on our team too, who was playing just as bad, who was Masters Peak and said, I'm top 500, right? So that, like, I'm probably going to make a video on this game outside of me spectating, because holy shit, my team was so awful. But this is the quality of GM matchmaking. The competitive integrity of this game has been completely diminished by multiple factors, whether it be 5v5, horrible balance, or just general terrible matchmaking and ranked implementations, whether it be no elo system or just generally a horrible matchmaker. This is the quality of game you can come to expect when you try your hardest to rank up into a game of Overwatch. If you grind Overwatch with the intention of getting really, really good at the game, you get this to look forward to, where this will be on your team every game, because this is the quality of player that comes into the game in Masters/GM. Just mega turbo giga boosted every game, and it is unbearable. I cannot keep queuing into these players every day and be okay with it. The game has lost so much integrity, it is unbelievable. How can the Blizzard devs watch this player in my Grandmaster game of Overwatch and unironically say this player is GM quality? Look, he's literally shooting his teammates. He cannot differentiate between the enemy and his teammates. And he is almost in the top 1% of the player base. He can't even tell who his teammates are and who the enemies are. This is my teammate in my game, and this is consistent. How is this so consistent where I'm getting, like, I would come to expect this of, like, a new player, like maybe like a silver or bronze player, maybe a gold player, but a Grandmaster/Masters player? You're telling me my GM teammate feeds this hard to this degree and is this rank? No, there is something seriously wrong. Now, we all know there is something is wrong. Clearly, there is something wrong. However, how has it been almost 7 seasons of this, and this is still not fixed? I cannot bear playing this game much longer. If I queue in top 500, I get top 500 players. Some of them are boosted, but generally pretty good, right? I sit in queue for 45 minutes. I played New Queen Street. They have a Widow player. It's a horrible experience. It is what it is, okay? Who cares? Or I queue in Masters, and I get a team full of this. What actually are we all watching? I'm being dead serious. I promise you right now, if you were a gold player, you would almost certainly destroy this guy. In every aspect, game sense wise, mechanics wise, everything. Everything about a gold player's play is almost vastly superior to what I got on my team in this game. And this isn't just this game. This is just one of the examples. This is like genuinely about the average quality of my teammates on this account. Now, the weird thing is this doesn't happen on all of my accounts. This genuinely only happens on my top 500, by the way, account. Where I have other Master Smurfs where this doesn't really happen all that often, sometimes. But if you look at my stream VODs, they're all listed. You can look at them in the live section of my channel. Click to any part of the game, literally any part of any stream. This is it. My teammates are hard trolling, giga boosted, dog shit players, and this is what I come to expect in all of my games in GM/Masters. And I genuinely struggle to win sometimes because this is genuinely what I've got to play with on my team. Horrible players. Anyway, that was me ranting about the rank system and how it's completely flawed and broken and doesn't work and there's no more integrity anymore. And once a new competitive game comes out that's fun, I will be playing that instead of what we have now. Mwah. Goodbye.